Hello and welcome to Practice Portuguese Studio.
We'll try to cover basic sentences that will be useful, some pronunciation tips.
So whether you only know a little bit of Portuguese or maybe you know nothing at all, by the end of this you're going to be having a basic conversation in European Portuguese.
We hope you're ready.
Are you ready? Probably the first thing that anybody has to learn in a language is how to say hello.
Olá. Olá.
Hola. Okay, similar to Spanish.
Hola. Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah. Olá.
Olá.
The next thing that you might want to say is good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time of day. So how would you say good morning?
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
It's a tricky one because of the bom.
Bom.
Bom. It's like a nasal sound. In English, you would pronounce the M. It's not bom.
With the M at the end of a word in Portuguese, you never will close your lips, right?
No.
Bom.
Bom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Bom.
like that.
If you already talk nasally, then you'll be great at Portuguese.
So, bom dia. So let's add that to the first one we learned.
Olá. Bom dia.
Olá. Bom dia.
What's the word for afternoon?
Tarde.
So I could say bom tarde.
No, you have to say boa tarde. Boa, it's like the feminine version of bom. Everything has a gender. It's either feminine or masculine. So when you use adjectives like good, you need to be careful with the noun they are classifying. So it's bom dia, because dia is masculine, and boa tarde, because tarde is feminine.
So bom dia, boa tarde. Tarde. That's hard to say.
How would you say it when you arrived in Portugal?
Oh, I would say tarde.
Tarde.
Pronouncing
Those
the
R's.
pronouncing the R like an English speaker.
Yeah, it's like a flick of the tongue. Tarde, tarde, tarde.
Yeah, one way that I was able to get that sound figured out was by saying better. That brr of the two T's. In North America, we probably don't say better, better. So when a R is in the middle of a word like that, then you'll just say it like re.
Yeah, when it's in the middle of the word and it's alone, not two R's together. One single R in the middle of a word, it's pronounced like that.
And for you Spanish speakers out there, then it's similar to in Spanish. A single R will just be that same re sound.
Okay, so that's bom dia, boa tarde, and now good evening. We say noite for evening, night, and noite is feminine, so what would you use?
I wouldn't say bom, I would say boa noite, right?
Boa noite.
Boa noite.
Olá, bom dia, boa tarde e boa noite.
Boa noite. So in English, if I were to say good night to somebody, then that might catch them off guard, making them think, oh, you're leaving already, because we often say that when we're leaving. But in Portuguese, can't you say either of those three things? Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, either when you're arriving or leaving?
Exactly. Boa noite. Bom dia.
Boa tarde. Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Olá, boa tarde.
As an adult, learning a language can be overwhelming because we don't seem to absorb information the same way that children do. But attitude is also a huge factor, not just age. When we're kids, we're curious, playful, and not afraid to look silly. As we get older and accumulate mental baggage from past experiences, we worry a lot more about what others think of us. And that makes it harder to put ourselves out there when we start speaking a new language like Portuguese. What if you could recapture that childlike way of seeing the world? You could allow yourself to develop a natural curiosity for the language and use it to explore and take risks. If you make a mistake, just shrug it off and keep going instead of wallowing in embarrassment for a week. Just remind yourself that it would be much more embarrassing to give up completely. Failing is often the best way to learn because the lessons we learn from our mistakes are so much more memorable than a predictable and safe study session. I've been speaking the language pretty fluently for years, and I constantly find myself in situations where I slip up, choosing the wrong word or verb conjugation, or even hesitating or stuttering for a few seconds because I'm unsure about what I'm about to say. We just have to embrace these moments and realize that this is what we signed up for when we decided to learn a new language as an adult. So just like a child discovering a new activity, think about how you can apply a more playful and curious attitude to your Portuguese learning. You don't have to be a serious, cautious adult all the time. Be a bit more childish. What's the worst that could happen?